General Indare's Jade Dragoons would throw them into the sea.
If she was there, they marched out, left the city completely undefended.
My cousin was studying with Tellinger at ESO.Elder. Thank you for all you did there.
There's no way she'd abandon Haven to pirates.
Shot. Say something intelligent.
You're a bold one to approach so fearlessly. Give me a good reason to speak with you. I'll make it seem like you're here at my request. Otherwise, my subjects will think you cut the line and start sizing you up for dinner. How thoughtful. I could hardly turn down such a generous gift, especially with the trouble brewing in Elden Root. You're a bold one. How thoughtful. How are you at building embassies? You see, Queen Irene promised one would be built for the Khajiit as a gesture of goodwill. But now a year has passed and there's still no Khajiit embassy. This has led to no end of headaches. Good question. You wish to serve the Comoran throne? You can start by asking Prince Naaman why his people aren't fulfilling their promises. He's the one who seems to have the entire Elden Tree lodged up his flue. I can say that. I'm the king.
Did you know you...
Yes? Quickly now. Don't leave your mouth to hang agape. That again? My sister, Queen Irene, foolishly committed to build the Khajiit an embassy months ago. Everything was to be handled through Ambassador Tarinwe at the Ultima Embassy. No, You don't get to question me, not after you slew High Kin Lady Estri. Do you think I'm one to have a chat with the person who killed my wife? That will break out the Sylphmead and share a good laugh? Then I shall return the favor. Address all further inquiries on the matter to Ambassador Tarinway. Good day.
You're not one for waiting in lines, are you?
Greetings.
What? Come out! Come out and talk to us.
I suppose a wanderer like you wouldn't know what busy looks like. I will demonstrate. Feel free to observe, quietly and from a distance. Oh, forgive my manners. There's so much to do in preparing for Queen Irene's ratification ceremony. Tempers fray, as I'm sure you can understand. But if Prince Naaman sent you, it must be important. What can I do for you? Why would Prince Naaman care about that? If they are too lazy to build their own embassy, can't they afford an inn? Well, of course, I ordered it done. I hired some wood elves to excavate the stone and set aside supplies for Khajiit to use. It isn't my fault if the locals couldn't do their jobs. Check our storeroom. The Khajiit didn't even bother to pick up the supplies. In the meantime, I'm off to locate Prince Naaman. If he didn't send you here with his blessing, I'll see you face Dominion justice. We'll see what Prince Naaman thinks of your impertinent questions.
How can you ignore your allies like this?
That's far enough. The storeroom is off limits. Ambassador Tarin weighs orders. She did? That's different then. Show me her orders and I'll stand aside. Then I can't let you inside. No one gets in without her written permission. I'm to remain at my post until relieved. Except in an emergency, of course. The Khajiit could riot. That would be bad. Very bad. Or a fire, of course. But the chances of that happening are slim. I'm here on the ambassador's orders. I can't leave my post unless there's an emergency. About that much. I'd say that's worth a 5-minute stroll. Be about your business, citizen.
Where is the guard? And what are you doing here? I'd expected you would solve problems at the embassy, not cause them. Do you realize what's happening out here? Oh, never mind. Explain what you were doing in that storeroom. Why would she do that? Oh, never mind. Well, what did you find? Typical bureaucratic corruption. I expected better of the ambassador. No matter. Supplies can be replaced. What about the Khajiit embassy? Did she say why construction hasn't begun? What do you mean, collect stone? That should have happened months ago. They should be ready to build it. I'll talk to the ambassador myself. Put the fear of the Dominion into her. I'm surprised we didn't pass each other on the road. Get to those ruins and find that work crew. I want to know why they haven't done their jobs. I won't have Queen Iren's word impugned by someone else's incompetence.
You there, we need to talk. Saw you standing over the body of a dead wood elf. Nearly put an arrow in your throat. Good thing I recognise you. Azerith, I'm Dusk Ranger. We work directly for King Camoran Eredon. Saw you earlier in the throne room. The king had his suspicions about the missing work crew and asked me to look into it. Seems we both have a stake in this. I know enough. Khajiit owed an embassy. They're angry the High Elves are dragging their feet to build it. Seemed like politics until a dozen stonemasons vanished without a trace. The king sent me to find out why. The king suspects Ambassador Tarinwe has been up to no good. Little things, some of her associations. But he can't accuse his allies of undermining the whole alliance. So he sent me to deal with it. Ambassador Tarinwe used criminals to smuggle supplies. Never directly, but enough for us to notice. I'm not saying she had these stonemasons killed, but I'd like to ask her myself while she's in the Altmer embassy. If she left the embassy, she knows someone's onto her. She'll go to ground. Meet me by the middens, at the base of the Elden Tree. I'll be there shortly. They call this place the Middens because it's where all the refuse ends up. We clear them out now and again, but they always come back. Necessary evil, I'm told. Spoke with someone I trust. She's definitely here. We should get moving. We're not far behind her. Capture her, bring her in for questioning. Find proof she's behind this so Prince Naaman doesn't explode with outrage. Never thought I'd hunt a High Elf ambassador. Smugglers, skooma addicts, and more than a few criminals. They keep to themselves, but sometimes they band together to repel outsiders. Kind of like a filthier version of the Dominion. Our goal is to find Ambassador Tarinway before she buys passage out of Grotwood. Staying in the shadows, avoiding unnecessary conflict. That's what I'd do. But there's a lot of ground to search. I'll follow your lead.
Greetings. Prince Naaman sent someone to the embassy. We have to leave before we're discovered.
Prince Naaman? We had assurances. How can we make him our puppet if we can't control him?
On your feet. You're coming with me.
Why? Where are you taking me?
To King Camoran Eredon, where you'll answer for crimes against the Dominion.
He'll have me killed and served for dinner.
Only if you're proven guilty. And if you are, none of us could stomach you. Now get moving! Good working with you. I'll take her from here. You should inform the king of the good news.
you've returned. What have you learned of the Khajiit embassy? Oh, good. Nothing I enjoy more than talk of conspiracy. Did the ambassador have a manifesto? They usually have manifestos. No matter. I trust you resolved it. Splendid. I'll allow you the honor of informing Prince Naemon. Why not tell him the duly selected High Elf ambassador was working against the very dominion she pledged to support? I'll sit in my throne and try not to gloat.
I heard what you said to the king. Ambassador Tarinway, a traitor, my wife's killer, a loyal servant, and I, Queen Iren's representative in Eldenroot, required to thank you for your efforts. Very well. I'll provide no reason to question my duty to the Dominion. We'll interrogate Ambassador Tarinway until we know the extent of her treason. Then she'll die, as all traitors must. But no matter. Your efficiency in resolving this matter was commendable, and the Dominion rewards its servants. I heard what you said. Ambassador Tarinway's betrayal could not have been more absolute. She knew the details of the ratification ceremony, which puts Queen Iren at risk. It's my sister's own fault. She thought to appease the Sylvanar and the Main by agreeing to this foolish process. The ratification ceremony ends with the orrery, an ancient device beneath Eldenroot. It will divine Queen Iren's capacity to become Empress, or some such. But Ambassador Tarinway assisted in the preparations. I must assume she tried to sabotage the proceedings. Doing so would make Queen Iren look weak. No, we must proceed. You've proven your competence, so I'll ask you to speak with Melaras. He's an expert on the orrery and knows what must be done. Quite pleasant once you grow accustomed to the smell. The preparations for this ratification ceremony seem endless, but I'm up to the task. She asked how she could prove herself their rightful leader. The Sylvanar suggested the orrery nonsense, and the Main agreed. Of course, neither will be present to see it, yet my sister is held to her pledge. How unexpected. Khajiiti political excuses are impossible to discern. I know the Main will not be present, and that's all I care to know. As for the Sylvanar, he died on Kenathi's roost. Thought he could negotiate with the filthy sea elves. King Camoran Eredan. It's beneath his city, so there's no turning him away. And myself, of course.
Please don't mind Prince Naemon. Ambassador Tarinway's betrayal is a shock to us all. But no matter, the orrery must work flawlessly for the Queen. That's what we will ensure. Enough to be of service. The orrery hasn't functioned as intended for ages. We planned to use some rather delicate magic to trick it into operation. But if Prince Naemon believes there was sabotage, we must look to an alternative method. Why, we'll look to the past. According to legend, the orrery required a skilled operator, an alien source of power, and a divine spark before it would function. Without all three, it won't do anything but spin. Quite pretty, but not very useful. I've researched this a bit. Really, you need to be in 3 places at once. Simple, right? But the Fallen Esti winter site is rumored to hold a relic of the Khajiiti thief god. For our purposes, Radchin's mantle will serve as the divine spark, if it's truly there, of course. Wonderful! Have anything you find sent directly to the orrery. Once everything is in place, we can begin the ratification ceremony. And do refrain from referring to Conservator Daraneth as a missing element.
Exactly known for my patience.
What?